personal opinion, I've seen one doctor in your practice in 3 years.
Yeah.
That was Dr. DiGiorgio.
Okay.
Okay.
He was gonna do a simple
Pubic thing. It didn't work.
Okay.
He's a nice guy.
Yeah.
Then I came over here and I thought she was a sweet girl.
She was not pleasant. But we kind of got along after month after month. And got one nurse in there that is outstanding, Pauline. She cares about her clients.
Yeah.
And it was just,
So let's see how did this mess start off?
I went over to have my
Yeah, it changed out on a Wednesday or Thursday.
Pauline changed it.
That she
Said, we've been using a latex. And she said, but I don't have a
number 20 latex Couday tip, but I've got is silicone. She put that in. I'm thinking to myself, oh, that was the nicest, smoothest application going. I got home, poof, it was completely gone. It had pulled completely out. So I looked at the end of it, and the bulb had popped. It was gone. I had that same brand about a year earlier.
And
The nurse practitioner assured me that they got rid of all of those because
in both cases, I had him at work, and everybody's closed.
the bulb doesn't work. So Pauline says,
I could put an
18 in, but probably leak.
22,
Won't maybe really be stretching.
but anyway, we decided.
Collectively, two of us, we put a 22 in. Couday tip. And another thing, your supply over different sizes, over here, I don't know if you had a chance to look at it, it's about 0. It's not what you need.
You know I don't run the hospital, right?
No, I'm not talking, I'm talking about your,
I don't run that either.
Who
This is a
does?
company, the Cleveland Clinic.
well, they
Send
need,
your complaints to them.
they need to have their hands spanked.
Write a complaint.
And they should have Couday tips, straight tips, they should have 18,
We'll work on
20,
that one.
all of
That, okay.
But what can I do for you?
So, have you read his chart since he's been in here today? Okay, could you?
I've read 50 charts today.
I understand that.
Just tell me,
Okay.
just give me the
Okay.
watered down version.
Okay, the water,
Down version.
That I can help with, because it's gonna be not much probably.
Well, it's urinary tract infection. He has the most massive pain in the whole world. He can't get from here to here because he's got so much bladder
And they-
challenges and
they-
everything else
They're
with it.
saying that the ER,
that this is a, what do you call it, a massive,
Bladder UTI infection. Now,
You have a chronic catheter, so you're gonna get those two guys.
but with that, when he his catheter changed, when you know he's got a UTI that's pretty persistent, in his chart, he never gets, every time he gets a cath change, I think it would be logical to have it tested to see if he has a urinary tract infection at that time.
Well, almost everyone does.
Get tested?
Yeah, no, has an infection. Almost everybody has detectable bacteria in there.
Okay.
Who has an indwelling catheter.
So if we do that, you're gonna
Have
have
a positive culture every time.
Then should he not be on like a rotation of antibiotics to continue to kill it, like a rotation?
That's not really the practice.
urology.
I've been doing this 15 years. May not look.
Is it a hospitalist that does it? Which practice would that fall
We,
into?
we don't do that in the practice of medicine. If you have a chronic catheter, whether it's suprapubic or through the penis,
Penis, you don't get routine cultures. We only treat the infection if you have some symptom of a blood infection like fever, bleeding.
His cat's bag is bright red.
Maybe this time.
But I'm saying not every time.
No,
Which is
that's
what
not
you were
right.
alluding to.
Yeah, you're right.
Not every time, but a lot.
And what happens with this time, and I'm afraid
I've had 5 casts in
in a week,
okay? In and out, in and out.
Why?
Why? Well, one was defective, then one was leaking like hell at the end, okay?
Mhm.
This one, then the 22, this was just ate, it was too big, okay? I was trying to keep from leaking. The one I've got right now,
it's leaking through the tip.
real bad, it's a 20
Mhm.
latex. In about 3 weeks,
It'll quit leaking right.
right there, okay, and go in the bag. Right now, I'm about
50% to the bag and
50% leaking into my pants. And the discharge into my pants is a pussy type discharge coming out of the tip.
Okay.
You probably seen that, right?
So the treatment for that is antibiotics.
Well,
But
and now, right here in the V is where it hurts like
it's
crazy.
probably an infection.
Well, I think that's what they said it was. But what is hurting in there is an infection.
I don't know.
The only organ down there that I have any expertise in is your bladder. Could it be
Something else? Probably.
Well, they ran a hernia. They ran L4, L5. They ran the lateral obliques. They've run an MRI on the muscles themselves, and everything kind of comes back. Impaction's not there. He doesn't have, his bowels are completely there. Everybody's saying, hey, let's consider, knowing that he's been cast for the last 7 or 8 years, 7 to 8 years, and he continually has routine infections, very routine. Like his chart, if you were to take the time to look at it, they're routine infections. So with that, yes, probably an infection, but we need to also look at what's the next step to prevent the infections from occurring, or how to treat those as they go.
Well, it's the same thing. Antibiotics.
Okay.
You know, if we treat current infections with antibiotics, you could get maybe a dose of antibiotics when you get your catheter changed. But that's all we've got in the armamentarium of urologic medicine. We don't have anything else.
This is going along
so well.
without a whole lot of pain. And now it's like, boom, I hit a brick wall.
I know. I don't know how to fix the pain part. I don't know how to fix it.
It hurts, Dr. Hughes. It really hurts. All right, now, I've learned something tonight. I was gonna fuss it. All you doctors over there,
Stewart,
and it's Cleveland Clinic's fault.
Well, there's no
But
big
not
let's get-
having
having the right supplies because they're too damn
cheap.
But I struggle with doctors not reading charts, and I'm not pointing it right at you. You're one of there's 50,000 patients. I guess I'm spoiled because I do have a liver issue. I see my doctor. I get to spend time with her. I'm on the 5-year transplant list. I understand medications. I understand this. I understand all of it. I get it. Not the bladder. I'm not a doctor. But when I do different techniques and different things, they know, hey, we're going to rotate you on this antibiotic because you're going to have an infection at this site or that. And when you're stuck with a catheter for 7 or 8 years, quality of life really sucks. Number one, but number two, it's cloudy every time. It's you can visually look at it, and that's the comment that Pauline has made. It's cloudy, Tom. First name basis because he sees her once a month to get it changed.
Yeah, we got a lot of people that change it once a month.
So, and that's good, but we're not looking at, okay, yeah, but if we're not going to test it every time, then we need to find some way to prevent the infection or to keep it at a minimum.
Can-
Because right now, his quality of life just, pardon me, fucking sucks.
Well, I think the best thing to do would be to have you see
An infectious disease person, because they're really the microbiologists. We're really the structural urinary surgeons. I'm not a bacteria specialist, antibiotic specialist, anything like that.
You're the plumbing side.
I do kidney stones, incontinence, cancers, stuff I can fix.
Right.
So if we got a hard infection problem, I think we need the infection doctor to weigh in. That'd be my recommendation.
And if I took one antibiotic for so long, they become ineffective,
That is correct.
the same one. So maybe.
You gotta put them in a
we would-
rotation of
maybe
4.
they need to stagger that a little bit, okay?
I don't know the answer. Or I'd give it to
So
you.
as the doctor of record for the urology part, and we know it's a UTI, and we know that we believe, let me rephrase that, we believe that the UTI is causing the pain. When you say reach out to an infectious disease or a specialist, is that something you would order? Is that something Dr. Jordan would order? Who is the next step to make that occur?
I'm gonna just say that I think
Infectious disease should see you, and then the house doctors take it from there.
Okay.
You know, their whole job is to just be here in the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
Most of my job is outpatient.
patient practice and operating.
We just see the inpatient consults kind of on the side. It's sort of our, end of the day thing. So I turf it to them. They got plenty of time to do that.
And sadly, he's been in and out of the doctor's office because the nurses don't have the ability to direct traffic, if you will, to have the doctors make that recommendation. They are working at your guidance. So Pauline can't even really, well, she sees it all the time.
She is
But she
one
can't-
nice lady.
She can't do anything to pull the trigger to make something happen. So the infectious disease guy, you're going to make a recommendation to the house doctor, Dr. Jordan, I guess, and then Dr. Jordan will hopefully move those balls in motion. It's
Ask him when he comes in.
but can I say your recommendation is to reach out to
Yeah.
him? Because I can't.
He can also read it in my note, but just
Okay.
say,
Okay.
You gonna leave a little note on the,
we have to leave notes.
And they leave notes for you too, I hope.
They do in your
yeah.
chart, but you have to read the chart to be able to see what's in the chart.
Well, I'd like for everybody to collaborate
They're not going to do
Sure
that here, Dad.
comes and goes away.
away. It is incredibly.
They're not going to read charts here, Dad.
Do what?
He just said he doesn't have time to read charts, so it doesn't
I
matter.
read charts in the office. I just didn't read your chart when I came in here.
Okay.
I just kinda saw
And
the
you're
chart.
in Stewart part of the time and up here part of the time,
Yeah,
and you're stretched pretty thin.
you could say.
And then they were
Waiting to get a nurse practitioner over here. And I guess that fell through, or the lady went someplace else and didn't show up.
Yeah, just like in any company, some people, the hires go through and sometimes they don't. Similar, like anywhere else.
Well, there was a nurse practitioner in my hometown, Salisbury, North Carolina. I would recommend her to be the queen of urology.
Mm.
And I called her about
6-8 months ago, and I says, "Do you need a job with Cleveland Clinic?"
Mm-hmm.
And she said, "Tom, we just put a swimming pool in the backyard.
Mm.
My husband owns a diesel truck business.
and I got 2 kids.
It's in school."
Yeah.
I said, "But it's close to Disney."
Mm.
And she laughed. She said, "I would love to, but we can't."
Mm-hmm.
Her name is Courtney Eller. She has good graces, good skills, and that's what people need. Trying to help you guys out, but I need to get help too, and I won't. So what Dr. Muse is basically saying,
There's.
what,
Go ahead. What's he saying? I want
is
to have you interpret it.
we're gonna get a hold of Dr. Jordan and tell him that Dr. Muse recommends we get an infectious disease doctor. Is that right? To give us a plot. if we hadn't had this conversation, that
Yeah, we
probably
wouldn't know where to go. So I think that's what's great about doctors making rounds.
And that's why I appreciate you stopping by.
Because now we've got some direction to go. If you hadn't stopped by, Dr. Muse, we wouldn't have known.
Oh, they could have figured it out.
Yeah, but I
I need it figured
Yeah,
out.
but by figuring it out, I mean, I'm in Tennessee. He lives alone. Nobody's advocating. You know, nobody's looking at it holistically.
It's tough to live
On your own when you're down here at your age with a catheter.
it is.
Why don't you move to Tennessee?
Because it's warmer here.
I've got a daughter who lives down here,
Oh,
right around the corner.
But-
I guess that helps. Warmth is
Besides, I don't like
Cold weather. I like
it
it.
hot. I like it hot. Now, where are you from originally?
Nebraska.
You don't like cold weather either, that's why you're down here.
It's a long
Story as to why I'm down here, but I like.
I like cold weather, all right. Florida's
It's just tough being by yourself when you get older. I see a lot of that. But I guess you have a daughter, so.
Yeah.
As long as she's willing to help.
One thing that
I think,
that Dr. Bauer got PO'd about when we went to the
Dock in the Box West. Sports at UC
Yeah,
West,
St. Lucie
whatever it's
West.
called. Yeah.
the either the physician or the nurse called one of your doctors in your practice down there, okay? And she wrote on the instructions to go to, you know, your office and see, it was Dr. Horvath's next, start with an F. Fuller, you got somebody starting with an F?
Mm-hmm.
That's who she talked to. I guess he was on call. And so I went down there and they acted like, hell, you're not scheduled over here. I said, well, here's the instructions from, oh.
Yeah.
And I figured that that Dr. Bauer will at least stop by. Nothing. And that kind of makes you feel like nobody cares about you. It's just that touch.
Yeah, I understand.
So maybe you need me to come down to be your guidance coordinator. I said, do this.
A lot of people would like that job.
Yeah.
All right, you guys, I'll let
to know, okay?
thank you.
Infectious disease, come see it.
they can fix this infection.
Okay. And the way to go is through Dr. Jordan, the hospital.
Yeah, he's gonna see my note and everything, so.
Thank you for stopping
Okay,
by very
sure.
much.
See you
Bye-bye.
later.
What an ass.
Oh, do one.
What an ass.
Yeah, he's just fucking putting his time in.
That's all he's doing. And